Joining me today, I'm excited to have with me some of the cast members to talk about the Canadian feature film Thunderbird. We have Michael Morrison, producer, Nicholas Treeshin, who's the director, writer, and editor, and accomplished actors Natalie Brown and Aaron Douglas. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, it feels like an international film because it's so spectacular. The cinematography, the acting, the editing, and it's just congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go team.
Yes, and so tell us, what was the inspiration behind the film?
Is that
Nicholas?
for me?
Yes.
Well, it's an interesting, I'll give you the Reader's Digest version, but, Michael Morrison, the producer, him and I, we had worked in television together and, we had discussed doing a feature together at some point. And this opportunity came where, there was kind of like a little mini nugget of an idea. And I came in and I liked Mike a lot. And I was really kind of super hungry to tell a story that I cared about. And I kind of pitched this story about a mystery of a missing sister and a small town where there's some racial tension, and then big themes of kind of confronting your fear, confronting your past in order to move forward. And I started writing, and we felt like we were on the right track, and we kind of got to the point where we were excited to tell a story that was really, embedded in the Pacific Northwest and embraced some of the beautiful landscape and embraced some brilliant First Nations performers and legends. And, we wanted to do something that incorporated also some of these legends and this background that, where we really had, we had some inspiration from the First Nation community as well, to have our backs to make sure that everything was authentic and beautiful and done well. And that got the ball rolling.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what was the process like? Like, how long did it take to make the film?
Well, I guess it was, about 5 months of writing, early 2017. Then we went into prep. Maybe Mike can maybe correct me. I know it was maybe like 6 to 8 weeks of prep. And then we shot in the summer of 2017 on Vancouver Island and in and around Vancouver.
Yeah. Yeah, it was I think like to get it from beginning to end, like where we're at today, it was almost about 3.5, 4 years all together kind of thing over that period. So it's been a interesting and fun journey to get it to this point.
And then Aaron and I swooped in for 5 to 8 days.
Yeah.
On the backs of all of your hard work and labor of love for all the many, many, many months before and after.
There truly is no such thing as an overnight success. People work their nuts off for a long time to get something going. It takes a while in film and TV.
Yes. But how does it feel now that it's on screen, it's on Amazon, and you've been in the press, like National Post, you're getting great feedback. So how does it make you feel that, that this film is getting great reviews?
Well, I think it's very satisfying. It's our first sort of it's my first sort of foray into like feature filmmaking. And to have a body of work that I was able to produce and put together and be recognized on that level, and to have the team, like at the end of the day, to have everyone's work be acknowledged on that level is really rewarding. And there was just a lot of tremendous people involved with this project from beginning to end. So I think it's pretty neat because you take like it's literally, we had this mound of clay that we like the company that put it together, Ocean Twilight Films, like we had, there were some elements that we wanted to see in the story, and then to be able to shape those and bring them literally like it is, you bring them from words on the paper to up on the screen. And it's a really satisfying and interesting process.
Mm-hmm. So there are a lot of people involved in making of the film, like the extras, and can you tell us about that?
Yeah, yeah.
Nope,
There's,
it was
I mean,
just us four.
Pardon?
We did it. That was it.
Yeah, that was it. It was just.
There were a lot of Morrisons. A lot of Morrisons.
Yeah, we had. Yeah, my mom was out doing craft service. My brother played one of the cops standing around picking his nose.
Your sister helped with some.
My sister was out
weekends.
And my wife was always there to support along the way.
Michael was my psychiatrist, when I would have my breakdowns, and he would take me aside, everybody had to wear at least 3 hats, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it was, like there were like when we shot up in Port Hardy there, there were like members of Fort Rupert and Port Hardy community came out like in masses to come support the film and be a part of it and share the scenes that I'm really proud of, like are from being able to shoot in a big house up in Fort Rupert with the Quaggle Nation, and they shared with us some of their very like sacred and cherished dances that are handed down through generations, and to be able to see that in the big house with the fire burning and be able to have permission to get that on camera and have that shared with us was really, really special. Mm-hmm. And there's like when there's extras, there's the crew, there's so many people involved, but it's yeah.
Mm-hmm. Natalie, how did you prepare for the role as detective?
Had some good chats with the producers and with Nicholas, who warned me right from the get-go that there was not going to be any, leather jacket wearing tough TV detective or, blazer over a tank top. It was going to be really immersed in the look, feel, and aesthetic of the Pacific Northwest. It was like, get your hands dirty, no makeup, let the natural curls rock out, get your rubber boots on, your rain jacket. And from the very first scene when I rolled up in a rowboat off the river, I just immediately felt immersed in the story. So, Nicholas definitely set the tone, and then also just where we were shooting is so beautiful. I feel like the Pacific Northwest itself is a character, not just a backdrop of the story.
Yes. I mean, when I watched the film and I thought it was so riveting and so scary, with the music and it reminded me, something like The Silence of the Lambs. You play the detective, and it's just so you want to know who did it and etc. But I mean, it is something that, the role itself is so powerful. And like with the script, did you stick to the script or did you have involvement in the script? Was there any ad-libbing or?
I can speak to that a little bit. I mean, the thing about an indie film is your time is everything. Like I fought for time more than anything. And I really wanted this to be a film where it wasn't one take and move on. I wanted everyone to feel like they had achieved what they wanted to achieve and that we made it happen. But, when there's not so much time, the script is a bit of a Bible. Like you live and die by the script. But that said, I'm always the best, idea wins always. And I think when you're working with great actors like Aaron and Natalie, like if they were going to bring something, and even like from the first time I met Natalie, or even from when Aaron, like he was kind enough to read for us, it's just right away, you can tell they're bringing something like an extra layer, like they're taking your script and they're just taking it to the heavens. It becomes real. And that's all I was looking for. And it's a good moment to segue. I should really say, when you write something, it's all in your head. It's all just fantasy, make believe. I was lucky enough to have Natalie and Aaron, and when they walk on set, there's gravity and a weight, and they literally made what I saw in my head come alive. So again, I've thanked them before, but I thank them again. They did a really great job, and everything in front of the camera is what we're working for, and to have people like them delivering when there isn't much time and getting it right on take one, it's just a testament to their skill and dedication.
Mm-hmm. There was such a connection between Natalie and Aaron. And Aaron, tell us about your role, and was there a favorite scene?
Well, it's funny you say there's a connection between Natalie and I, because we have no idea who each other are. We show up on sets and it's like, hi, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Okay. So you're the detective that's walking up and that I got to deal with now. All right. So for me, I typically don't read entire scripts. I'll read my parts so I know what's going on for me, but my character doesn't know what other people are dealing with or going through or whatever. So I don't want to inform myself. So I leave that stuff out, and then it's a surprise to me when I do find out as we film or when I watch the film. The wonderful thing about Natalie is she's so natural and so simple and so small is a weird word, but I hope it makes sense. She's very contained, and she just is like this calm. That scene that you talk about, that the rowboat, it really sets the tone for me, because it felt like it had the pacing of The Killing. It had that creep factor of Silence of the Lambs, like you said, and just the sort of long push shots, and then the camera's very still. It's not moving around. And within that, she is contained. And so when she goes like this, I get to do what I like to do, which is be as small as I can and say my words as simply as I can, and then let the camera find it. And Nicholas has said many times that he found what he wanted from both of us. And so that's, if you're ready to move on, I'm ready to move on.
Yep. That's trust.
Yes.
Yeah. And tone is everything, right? You can have a great script and great actors, but if you get the tone wrong, something just feels fake or off. And in that scene, it really lied heavily on Natalie and Aaron to set the tone of the film, and they did. So yeah, it was that was a great scene. It worked really well.
And I thought it really carried over into the police station stuff too, where my character's just exhausted and doesn't want to talk about this anymore. And she's this inquisitive detective who comes in and asks a zillion questions. It's like, lady, I've been dealing with this for 25 years, and now Buddy's going to come and somebody kicked the side mirrors off, and like, can you just please go away? But that again was, two people talking heads sitting staring at a wall having a conversation can be really boring. But it was compelling, I found, at least.
Yes. Well, there's a part in the police station where Natalie, I'm just paraphrasing, 34 girls in the last 10 years. And you're looking at the board. And it was such a moment that I felt, wow, like it was just it was gravitating to me. So that was one of the parts it stuck with me, in other words.
Well, that's what drew me to the script is, those themes, and they're very, real issues that we are trying to reconcile in this country. And so it's what drew me to the story. And it's also what drives my character, trying to give voice to the voiceless. And, this isn't necessarily a story about the women that have gone missing and murdered, but it certainly touches on that really difficult subject. And I think that you need, fresh eyes and people that care to go up against the status quo. And I actually had the interesting fortune to my ride to my first day on set happened to be from another Vancouver production. And the driver was a retired Vancouver police officer who had some really interesting insights into, that very real issue that has been ongoing. And looking for answers. There are no simple answers, but you simply need people to be talking about it and to care. And something that people had said is, well, no one's looking for them. And that's just not true. If that is the case, then we need more people interested. We need more resources. And that essentially is why I wanted to be a part of the project. Again, it doesn't solve anything, but she sticks around. There's a lot more to be gained by her sticking around and whatever assets she can bring, whatever attention, whatever focus, whatever dedication. Like, she's a doggedly determined detective who also has to reconcile her past, who's used to going up against the system and a boys' club and might resort to unorthodox tactics, which is seemingly what got her suspended. But this is her chance to, take a look at what she did wrong, what she can make right. And that is a recurring theme where she's a bit of a lone wolf who has to work with Aaron. She has to work with Will. They find unlikely allies in each other. Yes. And that's what you need to do. We have to find, seek out that allyship in order to, find solutions to these difficult situations.
Yes, and as a part of you running, I mean, did you have to, get fit, or was there?
I tend to, whatever role I'm playing, I try to also physically prepare in whatever way that person would have to. And I don't always have enough time to suddenly, go through the police academy. I think, Ivy Seymour spends a lot of time running towards things, running away from things. And so, that was a little bit of a part of the preparation, and just also immersing myself as much as possible in the time that I was there.
That's wonderful. And what would you want people to take away from the film?
That's a great question. Well, ultimately, it's my favorite films are the ones that move you slightly, in the same way that when I saw Jaws as a kid, I think I was afraid to go in the ocean for the rest of my life. And that made me feel the power of what a film is capable of doing. At the time I was really obsessed with just imperfect human beings who need to, kind of like in the Larry Moss way of, you need to kind of find out what that hole is inside of you and repair that hole before you can move on. So I think it's about telling people that they have to confront their fears in order that they need to move on. And whether it be preconceived notions about prejudice or racism or something that that you've done wrong or that you need to do. I think the message is you have to go inside of yourself and confront yourself and sometimes face your darkest demons and your darkest inner workings to kind of come out the other end and be a better person. So, it's my favorite films aren't the ones that have a nice big red bow at the end. I'm more interested in hope and just the act of swimming, moving forward, trying to be better.
Is there anything else you'd like to add, Aaron? I didn't ask him any questions, but is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think the takeaway for me is that this is real life stuff. So pay attention. I mean, this isn't a documentary, but this kind of stuff goes on. So be better as a society. And again, I want to thank Nicholas, Mike, Natalie for embracing me and having me be a part of this wonderful little film. And I hope we get to do more down the road.
Yes.
Definitely.
What he said.
Thanks for coming out. I enjoy your insight on your performance and stuff. It's really I guess the one thing I would add is just it is really fascinating getting to watch people who are very talented and very experienced work and sort of showcase their craft. It really it's really interesting, and I always enjoy hearing creatives sort of talk about how they utilize their craft and it was neat. And long story short, just really really pleased and really grateful for everyone that was a part of this project, and we were able to finally get it out the door and people can start taking it in, which I think is a big deal for Canadian independent film.
Well, just on that, what you two did is you create a safe space that allows us to go, and then you let us go there. And then you can always say, can you just do one as written? And then we'll do one your way as well. And that, I mean, when you just allow people, a lot of times, especially when you get the LA types coming up, they just want to go, no, this is how I see it. Okay, well, it can be a dictatorship, but I find it's a better thing when I do what I'm good at. You do what you're good at. You do what you're good at. I don't tell hair and makeup how to do my hair and makeup because I'm a buffoon and they do it much better than me. So don't tell me how to act. And you can tell me where you need me to stand, but I'll figure out the rest on my own.
Yeah, it was really, really collaborative. And I want to again thank Nicholas and Mike for having me on board and also opening up the process to everyone. Like, it really felt like a collective family effort, not just the Morrison family, but also Vancouver was really busy with a lot of American productions. And this was a uniquely Canadian Pacific story. And there wasn't a lot of crew. And so there was a lot of crew members that were, maybe they'd been in like a, tertiary position that were suddenly keen. And so it was a real opportunity to everyone to really roll up their sleeves, trust each other, work together. And there was really great collaborative energy on set that was infectious. And it is a bit of a miracle to finally have people being able to see it. And it was a labor of love, and I'm happy that everyone finally gets to take it in.
Yes.
It's
a team, right? That equals success. And where can people go to see the film? It's on Amazon Prime Video and
then up in Canada right now, where our on-demand release is via Vimeo on demand at this moment. And then there's also, like, internationally, it will be available in Germany, Switzerland, and Austria, and Indonesia in October through a distributor. In one in Indonesia, and then there's one based in Germany that's going to those three countries mentioned before. But we'll get you like there's a link that if you can throw up and it'll direct people wherever they're able to view from. They'll be able to check the film out.
Yeah, will do. Yes,
that's for sure.
Yeah. I don't have any more questions. I want to thank you all for being here virtually. It was a pleasure. And for those who haven't seen the film, they have to see it because it's a wonderful, wonderful film. And it is crime drama, thought-provoking. It's facing your fears and so forth. So thank you again.
Thank you for having us.
Right on.
No, thank you.
Thanks for having us on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for being so kind. Thanks for being a part of it.